We've got breaking news out of the NFL. The Miami Dolphins are releasing wide receiver Tyreek Hill. That's been confirmed by our Jonathan Jones. The All-Pro wideout has spent the past 4 seasons in Miami. He only played in 4 games this past year due to multiple torn ligaments in his knee. The Dolphins will save either $23 million or $32 million in cap space next season, depending on whether he's a pre or post June 1st release. It's still unclear whether he will be ready for the start of the 2026 season as he recovers from that major knee surgery.
My take is that if I was a team that needed a wide receiver, I wouldn't go close to Tyreek Hill. No thanks. There's enough good receivers in the league that I don't need to go to the 32-year-old receiver coming back from a devastating knee injury.
Speed isn't important to his game either. So it's not a bad injury for him.
And he was already a player that was in decline. I think it's a long shot that he'd even be ready to play week 1. So that's not even to talk about all the other off-the-field things that he brings to the table that Miami was clearly managing, all of those things behind the scenes. There's receivers in the draft. There's useful receivers in free agency this year. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. Wouldn't bother.
I'm right there with you. This is a guy that already was slowing down. We talked about it in September, and I remember vividly because I looked up his miles per hour stats, and all of that was dropping off. He wasn't breaking 20 miles an hour as much as he used to, which is why you have Tyreek Hill. His rate of going 50 miles an hour or more was dropping, which is significant because, again, that's why you have Tyreek Hill.
This right here is sad because the main reason why he got released was because of his off-the-field baggage. He keep getting these birds pregnant. He keep having baby mama drama. Pretty much, a guy like him is pretty much a sucker with money, if I gotta keep it real. You give a dude who never really got a lot of women a whole bunch of money that will attract a whole bunch of women, he might act a fool because he wouldn't know how to act. That's why he's dumping and everything. Like when a dude is just out here smashing these birds raw, that's a man who's not used to these women. So they're just out here crazy, just woo, woo, I'm the man now, woo. So as much as I like Cheetah, I gotta keep it real. This is what happens, fellas, when you're a sucker for love. You could ruin your entire career.
You don't let a guy like this go unless something's up. Either A, off the field shit that you don't want to deal with, or B, something's coming down the pipe, or 3, he ain't as cleared or healthy as we think, or may not even play next year.
Tyreek Hill on the market. You have said, I don't want him anywhere near the Bills. I don't want to talk about it. I think this is like a complete non-starter.
I'll talk about anything. I'm going to be hard to convince that that's a good idea.
If he didn't have the off-the-field baggage, would you want to do it?
Yeah, it's almost entirely about bringing what I think is widely considered to be an awful human being onto your team.
Now, the good thing is this. Hopefully, he recover, he get his mind right, he isolate himself, he move away from these women and focus on his career. He still got time. Now, he's 32. That's kind of old in football, especially in his position. But let's hope for the best because it could be over with. Let's hope that's not the case. Because if it is, he let his thirst destroy his entire career, man. That's sad because here's the thing. If he can't recover, now he's stuck with a whole bunch of child support because he got like 5 baby mothers. This is what I be trying to tell you all dudes, man. Your purpose could attract a lot of things, but you got to know how to deal with women, bro. If you don't know how to deal with these women, they can destroy you. I'm just keeping it real. This is why I always tell you guys, yo, if you get with a chick and all of a sudden your life move from being on top of your shit to you now being at the bottom, it is what it is, man. Fellas, it's real out here. This is why as a man, you gotta stay focused on your purpose. Do not put your focus on these women because while you're going through this, matter of fact, while he's going through this, his baby mother is still trying to get more money out of him.
So she spent their children's money on a new car. Social media called it. If you didn't know, Tyreek was in court because his baby mama wants $38,000 a month in child support instead of $5,000 a month. Also, extra $300K for the children. Yeah, the judge cut that off because the judge says she's lying about what she's spending the money on. She was supposed to only use $100,000 to buy a car. She went and took $96K from the money that was for the children to get herself a brand new Bentley. Also spent $37K of the kids' money on a business venture and invested $60K into a savings, not for the kids. Judge said Tyreek Hill has already willfully given $714,000 for her leisure, and she is splurging it on everything but the kids that she claims it's for. Now she has come to Tyreek Hill trying to stop the divorce, stating that she wants to come back. I wonder why. But again, accountability must play a part in these type of situations. Stop getting multiple women pregnant.
Look, fellas, a man's life could change in a heartbeat if he keeps messing with these birds. Matter of fact, take a look at how we got here.
Dolphins star Tyreek Hill once again involved with police, this time after an argument with his mother-in-law. Local 10's Rush Lowe live now in Sunny Isles Beach with more on what we're learning today. Rush.
And this was a concerning call to Sunny Isles Beach police on Monday. Let me set this up, and this comes straight out of the police report. Tyreek Hill's mother-in-law was very concerned for her granddaughter. She told police that Tyreek was in an argument with her daughter, grabs the baby, and then starts walking towards the balcony. The call goes out. Police race to the Porsche Design Building in Sunny Isles Beach on Monday.
Subject is Tyreek Hill.
The mother-in-law of Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill calls the cops. The call goes out as an assault in progress.
Subject black male wearing a white tank top.
When police get there, they make contact with Hill, his wife Keita Hill, and their child.
I'm ready for it.
They also speak to Tyreek's mother-in-law, Alicia Vaccaro. Let's get right to the police report. Quote, Vaccaro stated that Tyreek is very aggressive and impulsive, and that he has anger issues, and she is afraid for her daughter. And when she saw Tyreek arguing and throwing her daughter's computer to the floor, and later grabbing her granddaughter and start walking with her in his arms towards the balcony of their 35th floor residence, she called the police.
Get out! Get out!
Hill has made headlines for off-the-field incidents. Remember last September when he was pulled over by Miami-Dade officers outside Hard Rock Stadium on game day? Those traffic citations were eventually dropped. Straight out of the police report, Tyreek's wife tells cops that her arguments with Tyreek are becoming more frequent. When she told him he wasn't involved enough with the baby, she says he grabbed the baby, and she's now in the process of filing for divorce. No charges in this case. Both parties stated that the argument never became physical, even though officers observed a light redness mark, bruise on the mother's left upper chest, and questioned her about it. She replied that it probably had happened without malice when he grabbed the baby from her. Officers observed that the baby was in good health and good physical condition. Okay, now this is very important. So the concern here initially, and right out of the police report, it's 35 stories up. And the mother-in-law, was very concerned about Tyreek Hill with this baby, apparently walking towards the balcony, and that's why cops were called. But also out of the police report, it says that Keita, his wife, did not want to write a statement about the incident. And Tyreek left the residence in the presence of the police.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Look, some of us men just gotta learn the hard way. This right here is Tyreek Hill's wife. This is her mother to the right. Here's the reality. He got engaged to her in 2021. In 2023, he got married to her. As of April 2025, a year and a few months after, she already filed for divorce. Bro, they got you, and they got you good. I keep telling y'all, fellas, these women will play the role to get what they want. If you cheat on a woman, bro, and she stays, she's staying for a reason. But she gonna get you back. She gonna get you back. It never fails. And look, fellas, to my brothers, to the men out there with melanin, understand something, bro. Whenever y'all decide to date outside of your race. If you are not a puppy, if you're not going to be like a puppy type of dude, super nice, be careful. Because the way you express yourself, they are going to look at that as, he's aggressive. I'm scared. You can't forget who you are. And when things like this happens, it should remind you.
Tyreek Hill really just confirmed that he has 10 kids, with 4 of them being born in the last year. These are 4 of the women that he had kids with, and this isn't even including his wife, who he's been with for the last couple of years now. Tyreek does confirm that he does take care of every single kid though, as well as their mothers, to make sure that they're stable and live a comfortable life, which is honestly pretty great.
Yes, excellent.
See, if a man don't know how to handle his success, it can destroy him. See, sometimes money give people a false sense of reality. It can make you feel like you're the man, you're untouchable. All these women want me. But it's all an illusion, bro. They don't want you, they want the money. That's all they are seeing. His wife allowed him to have babies outside of their relationship. And she stayed.
Man, Tyreek, man, a Florida judge has ruled that Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is the father of another child, a baby girl. Hill reportedly has over 12 children, and it's 5 this year thus far. All right, this is just weeks after Hill announced his wife is expecting.
Look at Tyreek Hill's silly wife.
Like a year, got engaged in 2021, and then kind of just, it got too real. We needed to break off. I ended up moving to LA. Tyreek ended up hitting me back up again. You know, I was just like, we know each other. We know what we're getting into. Like, if that's what you want, then let's go to the courthouse and do it. And we got married, signed papers, and our life changed.
You smart. If he was broke, she probably wouldn't even give him the time of day. But in his mind, he's thinking that this woman really loves me.
I love my mommy.
You love me? Oh, baby.
And then they started to go to therapy. Well, it was to try to save the marriage. But the marriage was already over with, bro.
I had a tough 2024, me and my wife. Like, I tell her that all the time. I say, look, we done had our house burnt down, motherfucking in the news about a divorce. It's like, damn, 2024 ain't going how it's supposed to be going. But I know it's for a reason, though. I tell her, like, it's going to be beautiful. The end of all of this is going to be beautiful, and I know it. And maybe we just need a fresh start, just me and you. That's probably what it is, but I haven't laid my hand on it. But
people saying you're getting divorced, and it's very public. People now looking at you, looking at her. How do two people deal with that?
Just communication, just having open communication. You know, sometimes we all know in relationships there's going to be agreements and disagreements, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I made it to where in our household that there are going to be certain situations where she is always right and well, not right, but I would say she is making like full decisions, and sometimes it's going to be me making decisions. And when we come together, we got to be able to, you know, agree to disagree. So we just try to live by that, man. Like, nobody's right. We always got to have open communication, even when it's tough. You know what I'm saying? And obviously we had conversations about, you know, a post-note. And that was really where it all spiraled from, like a divorce or whatever. I don't like saying that word, but that's really where it all spiraled from. Like, and that, all I'm gonna say is, shit get weird is when you tell people outside your family. You feel me? That's when shit get weird. Like, so if you telling mom,
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
this right here is ugly. But some men just gotta learn the hard way, especially athletes.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. You all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.